Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Binomial.
স্যার একটু নিচে দিকে লেখেন স্যার।
এখানে লেখাটা তো আসলে দেখা দরকার নেই, বাইনোমিয়াল এক্সপানশন লিখবো চ্যাপ্টারের নাম, এটা দেখে কি করবো, বরং এই লেখাটা একটা মার্ক হিসেবে কাজ করবে, যে মানে এই লেখার উপরে যাওয়া যাবে না, এই লেখার নিচে লিখলে তোমরা বুঝবা। তো এই লেখাটা হচ্ছে একটা বাউন্ডারি টাইপ, এটার নিচে লিখবো ইনশাআল্লাহ, বাকি যা লিখবো। ওকে ওকে আচ্ছা। So binomial expansion, we want to be able to find the middle term of any expansion. Okay. Sanjida and Mahmood, you are here.
Yes, sir.
স্যার
Okay. So if we have x plus y to the power n, okay, here the power that we have, it is n, correct? Okay. So if the power is n, then when we expand it, how many terms will be there in the expansion? In the expansion, n plus 1 terms will be there. Will be? Yeah. Yes. To that. So as I was saying, if the power is n, then n plus 1 number of terms will be there in the expansion. Okay. For example, if I say the expansion, the power is 8. So from here, you will be able to tell me that how many terms will be there in the expansion. Okay. How many? 8 plus 1, that is 9 terms will be there. Now, some of you might ask, sir, you are saying, how can we believe you? Show us some proof. So let us see some proof. For example, if I write x plus y whole to the power 0, then it will be only 1. Power 0 and number of term 1. And if I write x plus y whole to the power 1, it will be only x plus y. So power is 1, but number of term is 2. Here number of term is 1.
Sir, you explain this us. Sir, you explain.
No problem. So let us explain again. And x square plus 2xy plus y square. How many terms are there? 1, 2, 3. So 3 terms are there. Okay. So I think we have already proved whatever the number of power is, the number of term will be 1 more than that. Okay. So as you said, I have already explained, so I will not go further. Okay. Now, let us talk about finding the middle term. Okay. So if number of terms is odd, then there will be only one middle term. And that will be n divided by 2 plus 1th term. Okay. So if number of terms is odd, remember, not power. We are not talking about power is odd or even. We are talking about number of terms. If the number of terms are odd, we know that there will be only one middle term. But if number of terms is even, then there will be two middle terms. Two middle terms.
স্যার এটা মিডিয়ানের মতো না?
হ্যাঁ,
এটা মিডিয়ানের মতো না?
কাইন্ড অফ মিডিয়ানের মতো, বাট মিডিয়ানের সাথে হালকা একটু ডিফারেন্স আছে। সেটা হচ্ছে মিডিয়ানে যখন ওই যে নাম্বার অফ টার্ম যদি ইভেন থাকে, আমরা কি করি, মিডল দুইটার এভারেজ বের করি। এখানে আমরা মিডল দুইটার এভারেজ বের করব না, জাস্ট মিডল দুইটা বের করে বলবো যে দিস টু আর দ্য মিডল টার্মস। আমরা এভারেজ বের করব না। কি বলছো, বুঝতে পারছো? সো অলমোস্ট লাইক মিডিয়ান। I thought I will say you this, okay, but you said it yourself. That's good. Okay, so you have the idea about median, right? So this is quite similar to the median. And then there will be two middle terms, and they will be n plus 1 by 2 term and n plus 1 by 2 plus 1 term. Okay, so I will show you one example. You can see all the writing on of the board. That
Yes.
so. Okay, now let us see an example. Okay. So if we have x plus y whole to the power, let us say 6, then how many terms will be there?
7.
7.
Total 7 terms will be there. So let me write, just for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cross I have given. So if I tell you to find out the middle one, then what can you do? You see these 3 are on the left, these 3 are on the right. So definitely this is the middle one, right?
Yes.
So which one? The middle one is the fourth one. Correct? Now from here we will try to find it out. Okay, how? As I told you, if number of terms is odd, we can see that the number of term is odd. Remember, people get confused in here. We are not talking about the power is odd or even or not. Okay, we are talking about the number of terms. We have the number of terms odd. So there will be only one middle term, only one middle term. So what will be that? N by 2 plus 1 term. So what is n? N is the value, that is the power. Okay. So n by 2 plus 1 term. Let us replace the value of n. Here it is 6. So 6 by 2 plus 1 term. Right. So 6 by 2 it is 3. 3 plus 1 it is the fourth term. See. Proved? Are you convinced?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
All agree upon this. This thing you have to keep it in your mind. Okay. Okay. So we are done with this part. Now I will be showing proof of this one. If the number of term is even, then what we will do? Okay. So let's not just erase whole of it. Okay. Let us say now the power is 7. Then number of terms will be 8. Number of terms will be 8. And here number of terms is even. Yes, it is even. Now there will be two middle terms. Two middle terms. What are they? It will be n plus 1 divided by 2 terms. Let me just replace it. 8 terms will be there. So let me put 8 cross here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can see that this is the left half and this is the right half. So the middle two terms is going to be them, right? So which two are the middle term? 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth and the fifth. So fourth and fifth, they are going to be the middle terms. Okay. So let us try to find that out from here, whether this one says the correct one or not. Okay. So n plus 1 divided by 2. So n plus 1 divided by 2. This one will give us the first one. So n has a value of 7. Remember, n is not number of term, n is the power. So 7 plus 1 divided by 2. So 7 plus 1 is equal to 8. 8 by 2, that is fourth term. Right? So we got our first one. Then what we have? See, n plus 1 by 2, here also we have n plus 1 by 2, just we added 1. That means we will add only 1 with 4, that is 4 plus 1, 5th. So it will be the 5th term, okay? So let me write it here, n plus 1 by 2 plus 1. We already saw that n plus 1 by 2, n plus 1 by 2 has a value of 4. So I will just directly write 4 plus 1, that is the 5th term. Okay, so 4th and 5th, these two terms will be the middle term. Everyone understood?
Yes, sir.
Sanjita and Mahmoud, take a special note, okay? I want to see it in your notebook when I come.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we will talk about the general term. You know, as you are solving finite series, there also you learn something called general term, but you don't actually refer to it as general term. You say it is nth term, okay? And in an arithmetic series, the formula to find out the nth term is a plus n minus 1 into d, right? That is the general term. So whenever you are asked to write the general term of an arithmetic series, you have to write it. Sometimes you might be, confused. If you don't know that it is the general term, then you actually know the answer, but you don't know that this is the general term. This is called the general term. So you will not be able to write it. So please keep it in your mind, okay? Now we will try to write the formula of a general term for binomial expansion, okay? Now, as we consider in case of finite series, it is nth term. In case of binomial expansion, we will consider it r plus 1th term, okay? So what is the formula of general term of a binomial expansion? Okay, it will be r plus 1th term. Now many of you might be thinking, sir, you could have taken rth term, r. Why plus 1? I will tell you why. NCR x to the power n minus r y to the power r, so that I can write r here. Okay, I will show you an example. Let me expand the binomial, let me write the binomial theorem. Okay, here what we have, x to the power n, right? But we all know it is not only x to the power n, here we have nc0, x to the power n minus 0, y to the power 0, right? And then we have nc1, x to the power n minus 1, y to the power 1. Then if we continue, nc2, x to the power n minus 2, y to the power 2, and so on, we will continue. Now, if I ask you, what is the first term? What is the first term over here? You will write nc0, x to the power n minus 0, y to the power 0. If I ask you what is the second term, you will write second term nc1, x to the power n minus 1, y to the power 1. Then what about the third term? nc2, x to the power n minus 2, y to the power 2. Now you might be thinking, why did I write it separately? I have already written it over there, right? But it is very important, to show you the relation between the number of terms with the number that I write here. See, what is the relation? If it is first term, then I put 0. 0 is 1 less than 1, correct or not? Then when it is the second term, I put 1 over here. That is 1 less than 2. Again, when it is third term, I put 2 over here. That is also 1 less than 3, correct or not? What we write above C, that is fixed, n, n, n. That is this power, right? Whatever power we have here, we will write it over there. But the number that we write below, it changes with the number of term, correct or not? So whatever the number of term is, we will write 1 less than that. Do you all agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Again.
Is the number of term, we will write 1 less than that below C. Okay, we all agree upon that. If we can write these two numbers, then writing the next part is very easy. We will write the first term x, we will pick x from here, and whatever we have here, the top one minus the lower one. Okay, upper one minus the lower one, it will be the power of x, and y, it will have the power of only the lower one. So writing this part is our main target, correct or not? Okay, so now if I want to develop a formula of a general term, I will write it in r plus 1 term form. Why? Because I have to write the number here that is 1 less than here. So if I consider r plus 1, what is 1 less than r plus 1? It is r only, correct or not? What is
Yes.
1 less than r plus 1? So if it is confusing to anyone, I will tell you, we have r plus 1, we need 1 less than r plus 1. 1 less means we will subtract 1, so plus 1 minus 1, they will cancel each other, so it will be r, right? So that is why I have considered this r plus 1 term, so that I can write r over here. So n, that is the power that we have here, and we have considered, in finite series we considered it nth term. Here we have considered it r plus 1 term. So we will put r over here, and then x to the power, the top one minus the bottom one, so n minus r, and y to the power, the bottom one only, that is r. So this is the formula that you need to write whenever you are asked to write the general term of a binomial expansion. It might come for 2 marks, okay? Now this is the one we will use to find out any of the term of a binomial expansion without even actually expanding it. Okay, without actually expanding it, we want to find, let us say I want to know the 10th term of this expansion. How can I write that? Inshallah, we will see using this concept only. So okay, so let us say we have an expansion and binomial like this, 2 plus x square to the power, let us say 11. Okay, and I told you that find the coefficient. Oh, at first let us try to find the term only. Find the 8th term. For example, find the 8th term of this expansion. So if you go on expanding it, minimum till 8th term you have to write to find out the 8th term. But if you know this, then using this we can directly jump to the 8th term. How? See, we want the 8th term, right? So I will write 8th term. Now 8, this one needs to be written in this form, something plus 1. So 8, if I want to write it in this form, how can I write it? I can write it 7 plus 1 term, correct or not? Anybody disagrees? I wrote it 7 plus 1.
7, sir.
Yes.
7
It will
plus
be
1.
8 plus 1.
Robin, কিছু বলছো?
Sir, I
Sir,
told you
here
7
7
plus
cannot.
1 equal to 8.
Yes, 7 plus 1 is 8. That is why I wrote it in this way, right?
8 plus 1 দিলে তো এটা 9 টার্ম হয়ে যাবে।
Yes, 8 plus 1 কেন দিব আমি? আমার তো এটা 8th টার্ম রাখবে না? তো তাইলে আমি 7 plus 1 এবং আমাকে plus 1 হিসাবে লিখতে হবে বিকজ আমি এটার সাথে মিলাইতে চাই, রাইট? অর্থাৎ তোমরা যদি এই জিনিসটার ঝামেলায় না যেতে চাও তাইলেও আমি তোমাদেরকে, আচ্ছা আমি ওটাও দেখাবো, জাস্ট এটার সাথে সিমিলারিটি রেখে কিরকম হয় সেটা একবার একটু দেখাই। তো তাইলে এখানে আর এর ভ্যালুটা কত দেখি বলো তো?
7.
7.
Okay, so let us write it. We know that this will be equal to n. N is 11. So we will write 11, then we will give c, and then we have r. So what is the value of r in this case? 7.
7.
7. Okay, then we have the first term 2. So 2 to the power, the top one minus the bottom one, 11 minus 7. Then we have the second term, x square. So it will be x square to the power the bottom one. See, I directly could write the 8th term, right? Now, if anybody wants to skip this term, let us say, okay, it is confusing to me that I have to write it in 7 plus 1 form, and then I have to put this 7 over here. Okay, you can eliminate this. You can directly write this one is equal to that one. How? You know that you have to write the power n over here. So you write 11, good, you put C. Then what number to put? We know that whatever the number of term is we have over here, it will be 1 less than that. So what is 1 less than 8? 7.
7.
So we put 7 over here, and the rest part you can write it, right? Okay. The first one to the power, here the bottom top one minus the bottom one, and the second one to the power is the bottom one only. Is it clear? But it is best if you can write this 8 in this form, then you can write it. Okay, if you can write it, then this is the best possible way. Okay, now in which places you will be needing to use it? Okay, now in some places they will only tell you that find out which term will be the middle term. So that time you will have to just say that, okay, the third term will be the middle term, or the fourth term will be the middle term, or if the number of terms are even, then you will have to say for the fourth and fifth term will be the middle term. But in some cases they will tell you and find those terms. So that time it is not enough that you say that fourth term is the middle term or fifth term is the middle term. That is not enough. You have to write what is the fourth term, like I have written what is the eighth term over here. Okay, I will tell you again, listen carefully. If you are asked to write, find out which terms will be the middle terms, which term, then this answer is enough. The eighth term is the middle term, or the seventh term is the middle term, whatever it comes. Okay, but then they might ask you and find those terms. Find those terms. If they add these words, then you have to find those terms in this way. Either you have to find it by expanding them, or you have to find it directly this way. Now, sometimes if the middle term is the ninth term, then what will happen? You will have to expand it, to a very long distance. Maybe, the expansion will take 1 page or 2 page only. So if you learn this general term and you practice it writing in this way, okay, I highly recommend writing, 8 at 7 plus 1 term, then write it in this way. Okay, then it is the best. Okay, that ensures inshallah your full mark, and it makes it very easy for you. Okay, and it will be done within half of the page. So did you understand what we discussed today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have tried to give you all the knowledge that you need to solve the creative from this binomial expansion chapter to the best of my knowledge. Okay, I don't know whether I missed anything or not, but alhamdulillah, I think I covered all the possible question that might be there from the binomial expansion.
Sir, you can give us some creative question for solving.
Definitely, I will give you an assignment.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay, I will give you an
Because
assignment.
sir, our chapter is complete, but we have some doubt now. Because in textbook only 2 creative is there.
Yeah, I know. Textbook, only solving the textbook problems is never enough. Okay, you have to solve the previous year board questions. Okay, and then that will give you the confidence. Okay, now I know how the question comes in the board exam, and I can solve it. Okay, this is very important. Inshallah, I will try to provide you the problems. Okay, and inshallah from the next class we will start coordinate geometry. Now still we have 8 minutes left of today's class, so this time I want you to give you the opportunity to ask me any question from binomial expansion, and if there is no question, then we may end our class here. Somebody
Sir, my doubt, nothing is there for me. I don't know. For me, nothing is there. I understand everything.
we write 4 plus 4. Okay, I think you are referring to this 8th term. Okay, so Aisha wants to write it in this way, and it is 4 plus 4th term. Okay, very good question, Aisha. But remember, we are trying to make it similar to this general term. We are trying to make it similar to r plus 1. We need plus 1, not plus 4. Let us say I want to make it similar to this one. So at first I need to write plus 1. So I wrote 1 already. Now, what I need to write here to make it equal to 8? Aisha, I want the response from you. Which number?
7.
7. Very good. So I need to write 7 over here. So you can use this technique also. You have any term, let us say you have to find the 20th term, right? So what you do at first, you put a bracket, you keep some space, you put +1 term, okay? And then you ask yourself, which number I need to write here to make the summation equal to 20? Okay? 1 এর সাথে কত add করতে?
19.
And that gives you that which number you have to write below C. And that is the number you need to know only, right? So is there any more doubts? Aisha, it is clear?
Yes.
Okay, so if nobody has any more questions, then I will wait for one more minute. If anybody comes up with any doubt, or else, inshallah, we can end our class here. And alhamdulillah, within a reasonable amount of time, we could complete binomial expansion. And I would like to take this opportunity to
Sir,
appreciate your cooperations. You all have been very cooperative throughout.
স্যার 18 আর 19 লাগবে না এক্সারসাইজের?
হ্যাঁ বলো, কিছু একটা বলার মাঝখানে কিছু বলছো। হ্যাঁ কি 18 আর 19 না, এটা লাগবে না। Anything else?
sir 14 নাম্বারটা আবার করে দিতে পারবেন?
14 নাম্বারটা আবার করাবো। Who is making the request?
স্যার মাহমুদ।
14 নাম্বারের যে ভিডিওটা আছে, that video you revised?
Yes.
And still you didn't understand?
No.
Okay. No problem. I will try it. Then I think providing the video is of no use to you. So in the expansion of 1 plus x by 4 whole to the power n, coefficient of third term is the double of the coefficient of the fourth term. Okay. So 1 plus x by 4 whole to the power n. They are saying the coefficient of the third term. Okay. Now, as we learned already how to write a term directly, let us put it into use, right? Let us try to write the third term without even expanding it. Okay. So let us try to write the third term from here. Third term is equal to, I will write +1 term. Okay. So what I have to write here? I can write 2 so that it becomes equal to 3. So what will be the 2 plus 1 term? Here the power we have n. So it will be n. C, what we have here? 2. So 2, then we have 1. If we have 1 over here, we don't write it. Then x by 4. So it will be x by 4 whole to the power 2. So this is the third term. And let us write the fourth term also in the similar manner. Fourth term, I can write it as 3 plus 1 term. So NC3 will be x divided by 4 whole to the power 3. Now they have said the coefficients. They are talking about the coefficient. The coefficient of the third term. So let us write the coefficient of the third term. It is NC2. X will not be there because we are talking about coefficient only. So 1 by 4 square is equal to the double of the coefficient of the fourth term. So it is NC3 1 by 4 to the power 3. So now NC2, this one can be written as n factorial divided by 2 factorial into n minus 2 factorial. So then it will become 1 by 16. Then 2 into, it will be n factorial divided by 3 factorial into n minus 3 factorial. Then it will be 1 by 64. 4 cube is 64. So from both sides, we can cross out this n factorial. You have to put side note that dividing both sides by n factorial. Now then, 2 factorial and 3 factorial, we have to decide which one to break up. Okay. If I break up 2 factorial, it will give me 2 into 1 factorial, which is of no use. But if I break out 3 factorial as 3 into 2 factorial, then I can cross 2 factorial from both the sides. So I will not break this up, rather I will break that down. And between n minus 2 factorial and n minus 3 factorial, if I break it up, what I will get? N minus 3 into n minus 4 factorial. N minus 4 factorial is of no use. But if I break n minus 2 factorial, then I will get n minus 2 into n minus 3 factorial. So n minus 3, n minus 3 factorial, I can cancel out. So that is why I will break n minus 2 factorial into n minus 2 into n minus 3. Then it will be 1 divided by 3 into 2 factorial, and here it will be 1 by n minus 3 factorial. And we have divided by 16. So if I change the side, it will be 16, and these 2 will be multiplied with this 16 and divided by 64 we have. So from both sides, 2 factorial gone, n minus 3 factorial, n minus 3 factorial gone. Then we can write 1 by n minus 2, 1 minus 2, okay? And here we have, 16 2s are 32, 32 2s are 64. So it will be only 2 at the bottom. So 1 by 3 into 2, that will give me 6, 1 by 6. So from here we can write n minus 2 is equal to 6, okay? Inversing both the sides. So n equal to 6 plus 2, so n will be equal to 8, okay? So this is the value of n we got, but that is not the end of the question. They said also determine the number of terms. As you can see, the value of n is 8. That means the power is 8. So I want Mahmoud to tell me how many number of terms will be there in the expansion. If the power is 8, how many terms will be there?
4.
Huh? How many?
9.
9.
9.
At the beginning of today's class, we already discussed, right? If power is something, the number of terms will be 1 more than that. Didn't I discuss this at the beginning of today's class? And someone of you said that I already discussed earlier also. So that's 2 times, right? So as n equal to 8, so how many terms will be there? 9 terms will be there. Okay. And then they told us to find out the middle term of the expansion. As we have the number of terms odd. If the number of terms are odd, then what we do? There is only one middle term, that is n by 2 plus 1. N by 2 plus 1 term. So what is the value of n? N has a value of 8. So 8 by 2 plus 1 is equal to 8 by 2 is 4, 4 plus 1, 5. So it will be the 5th term, that is the middle term. Now, did they ask to find out the middle term? And the middle term, also determine the middle term of the expansion. Yes, then we have to write what is the 5th term. So what will be the 5th term? We know that at first it will be, 5th term, I need to write it 4 plus 1 term, right? So if I write it in this way, then NCR. So N will be 8 and CR has a value of 4 over here. And then from the expansion, we can see this is 1. So we don't need to write it, but x by 4, we can write it. That will be x by 4 whole to the power 4. Okay, because we have 4 here, so that is by power 4. So if you simplify it, that will give you the middle term. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, so anybody else has any doubt? Okay, we have less than 1 minute left. So inshallah, I'm hoping to take a class test also on this, and also I will need you to submit an assignment. Inshallah, I will give you in the group. Okay, so everyone please check the group messages regularly. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Inshallah, we will start coordinate geometry chapter. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu.